Fruit boy entertainment. I just wanna chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she 21, I said alright. If we gon' be gone, speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Baby, turn up. You know who to go turn up.
He said I'm turn up enough.
You know who to go turn up. Let's start the show. No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, come on.
Turn up. Yeah. What's good, Sippas? This is your boy Buddha, and over there is the lovely
Baby!
And we have a special guest today.
Special guest.
Please introduce yourself.
I am Asheli, aka Toya.
Okay.
Toys Toy Box.
Time out. She went, Professor, I am Asheli. No. You motherfucker Toya Toe Box.
Toya Toy Box.
There you go. And if you want to get down with these toys
for your box.
For your box.
For your box.
Suck a nigga soul. Oh, cash out. That's what we talking about now. We gotta, you know what I'm saying, loosen up a little bit up in here.
Y'all said it.
She loose.
Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what box. I know, but I need to bring it out.
He always wants somebody to be extra.
No, I envisioned this in my mind, like that scene from Little Mermaid when Ursula was taking the soul up out of Ariel.
Oh, God.
I wanted to pull it over.
I am Toya.
Like, get it?
I am Toya.
Oh, okay. I wanted you to get
That was her ratchet voice.
That's what it is.
I am Toya. For the people in the box.
So, baby.
That would be me.
How was your day? Gotcha.
Let's just say I'm happy to have this drink.
What? Okay.
Okay. Hey, Jessica. Hello, Melissa. Natasha in the building. Mylicia. Is it Mylicia, Militia?
You butchered it.
Fucking it up. What's good, Joelle? Everybody, when you come in, let us know what you're sipping on. Tell us how your day. Greet the people so you know what time it is. Hello, new sippers, and welcome back, old sippers. Yes, we are here. We are live. And if you don't know what's going on, we just getting started. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about my day. Buddha gonna say how his day was, and Miss Toy Box gonna tell you how her day was as well.
Okay. So, my day was stupendous. I got off early, so I got a chance to take a little nap. Hey.
Yeah, he definitely was calling the hoes.
Grown men still take
Mylicia. Thank you for letting me know. I got that. I can say that.
Okay, Mylicia.
Give it to me just like that.
And she drinking all whiskey tonight.
She fit right in. She fit right in. Cause we on that. Well, I'm on that little Canadian Club whiskey.
As is, baby.
And a little ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to be grown. I put a lemon in there.
A lemon. You got to boost that immune system.
That's it. Keep that body machine.
Right. So Latoya, how was your day?
It was good. I woke up and I was
it's always a good thing.
Nyling. Most people call it parenting, but I'm like on a whole nother level with my kids, so I call it Nyling.
Okay.
So I had Nyla this morning, and then after that, I worked. I worked and I grind and I worked
from
and
home.
I worked from home today. I did. Yeah.
So you Nylene, cool. So because she's such a fucking lady, she is sipping on Moscato. Yeah.
I want a bull, but at least she drinking. It ain't water.
Cause she likes sweet stuff, and baby don't do all that sweet.
But she's doing the same thing I'm doing. She's trying to be a trooper like me.
Baby grown.
Grown. Joelle, slow down. You got to enjoy the intro.
Exactly. And we got to talk about last week.
And yes, I was supposed to be off. However, you know what's going on. Corona. That Rona done caused me to not be able to go to see Jill Scott.
Mm.
Wah. Okay.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, baby.
Thank you.
I mean, I'd much rather you be here with me than Jill.
And
I can do things for you that Jill can't do.
okay, see that. And thank y'all for tuning in to Sipping and Conversations.
Good
We
night.
out.
Oh, man. I felt right in on that one.
Okay, here you go. Goodbye. Okay. Yes. So what we talked about last week, Mr. Buddha.
Well, before I get into last week's topic, okay, never mind. I'll retract that. So what we talked about last week, Buddha had an issue.
What was Buddha's issue?
Buddha had an issue. Buddha said, we got these new untraditional women out there, right? But they want traditional things. So you want a man to treat you like you want to be treated, believe in you, and let you be you as an untraditional woman, but then you want them to shoot their shot. Why can't you shoot your shot? You want them to propose to you. Why can't you propose if you're so untraditional? So that's why I went with that. You know what I'm saying? I took the little gloves off.
Basically, traditional versus reality.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Buddha says that we got double standards, which I agree that women all around the world really have double standards. And I think part of what he would, his input, because we desire our independence does not mean we don't want a man to be a man. As far as the traditional ways of men, chivalry and proposals and things like that. Now, granted, we are in a time where, a lot of women are out numbering men with regards to salaries, but that still doesn't mean that those women don't desire to be proposed to and, all things traditional. So, society has its way of, extrapolating like those women that have made such a bad impression that the masses of women get like that needle in a haystack. Okay. So, yeah, that's my input. Do you believe in traditional or you like a combo, like girth and length, you want them both?
Yeah, I believe a healthy combination is good because tradition, I think kind of caters to maybe the expectation of some women or how maybe some women were raised, but untraditional kind of caters to how things have evolved. The time has evolved. Right. People change, things change. Right now, we are in a time where there are more female entrepreneurs and business owners than ever before. And with that, progression becomes a progression in an independent mindset. Yeah. Independent lifestyle for a woman. And so some of our desires change also with that. And so, while we still enjoy the untraditional things that men do in relationships, sometimes we want some untraditional things as well. So I think a healthy combination is good.
But I think that confuses a lot of men.
That's because y'all basic and simple, Buddha.
See, now she really...
Period.
It ain't that we basic or simple. It's just like, when you send mixed signals, like if we send mixed signals to y'all women, y'all get all haywire and crazy and whatnot, correct?
I think women are way more flexible than men.
Well, all I'm saying
Because
is,
if it ain't gray, it must be white.
Right.
Or black, it must be white. Like,
Right.
there's no gray area when it come in. Like, well, you said you like yellow. That don't mean that I don't like red, too. God
Right.
damn.
but see, for me, like, listen, if I'm going to be who you want me to be, accept you how you are, you ladies are, then okay, I'm cool with that. Now, if you want to be traditional, I'm cool with that as well. But at least let me know where I stand. I'm a one.
But you
I'm
should
a
be
one-trick
able to
pony
have,
here.
like she said, a healthy balance because, like I said, just because I like yellow don't mean I don't like red.
But what's the problem with?
What's the problem with me liking red and yellow and blue and green?
That's too much for them, baby.
Like,
I'm saying
which
is-
one you?
They
What's your
can't-
favorite color?
They can't
All
juggle.
of them.
Right, they
No.
can't juggle that.
Brown. That's
That's
it.
your favorite color.
That's it.
Like that's his favorite color. So you know.
I can
so
tell
yeah,
what hers
that's-
is. Red.
People don't. A lot of women don't have. They have preferred, but
Right.
it don't mean
It
that they
depends on
don't.
our mood and the season
Right.
and what we're doing and where we're going.
I change my damn purse depending on what.
Right.
And you wonder why. No, I'm just playing.
But y'all men supposed to know that about. Like that's where you should let the woman be great, and that is accepting her the way she is. That she's a goddamn woman. That she's
We are
complicated.
entitled to change our mind. We're entitled to want multiple and different colors and different styles of wigs. And what if we came with the same nail color every week? You wouldn't get tired of that?
Hell no.
No.
Because y'all basic.
Cause they basically come and then
it
come in
ain't-
here with some blue on when you've been wearing red the whole time.
And I better know you changed it because
Right,
guess what?
now you know
I've been
you
paying
changed
attention.
Yeah, you ain't paying attention because she always get red. She'll get red.
Right.
It's easier to shop for you. When you
Also,
already-
there it is, convenience.
Yeah,
Convenience.
it's not
So
convenient.
it's
easy.
inconvenient for a woman to both be traditional and untraditional.
It sends mixed. It
It's-
sends mixed signals. Like I said, it sends mixed signals.
So you guys can't be flexible?
We can be flexible, but
That's
then
inconvenience.
But
right?
my question is, can women be flexible in that sense?
Absolutely.
We always
We
that.
always
Well,
are.
so I want somebody to propose me. Damn it, is that flexible enough?
You can
It
want
can
it.
be.
You can want
that
it. You
look,
won't.
that look was priceless.
It
And
can
this
be.
look, this look like shit me. Like
It can be.
Anyway, you so funny.
Okay.
So tell the people what we're talking about tonight, Miss Latoya.
Today, we sippers. And we are talking about deal breakers in relationships.
Deal breakers within a relationship.
Mm.
Ooh,
I think we all should have deal breakers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all got some.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all ladies.
But do
take
you
this.
think they should be communicated up front or just kind of let it unfold over time?
I kind of had a discussion, a semi-conversation with Buddha this earlier today,
Okay.
and I was saying, you know, just because something may be small to him or to somebody else, and it may be in reality a small thing,
Mm-hmm.
but when the small thing happens consistently, it now becomes a big thing.
Right.
That could potentially become a deal breaker, especially when you are communicating that
That small
that
thing.
that bothers me.
Right.
Like, you know, bothers me to where I want to squeeze my skin and pull it off and your head.
Right. All of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, you just find out that she's a psychopath. Just right now.
And he like a little psychopath. in his
You know what I'm
life.
Some may say
I
put it
love
in
you.
her.
That's how I say
So psychopath.
ultimately, if you are at least listening to resolve a situation that was small, we handled that at the small level, and we didn't allow for it to be at the blown up level. Now I think that wouldn't be considered a deal breaker. When it becomes a deal breaker is the fact that you're not listening to me, to something that's bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if you try to fix it, you just want me to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
So they let a moth in the house when they came in the house. I'm gonna be doing like this through the show, so sorry in advance. That's a disclaimer. My baby just came home, and yeah, all hell about to break loose with this moth. Just so y'all know.
Okay, it's just a little moth.
My nerves.
They bad.
I got bad.
That's
anxiety.
a deal breaker. No, the bad anxiety.
So carry on.
All right,
Y'all go.
Go ahead. What you got?
Deal breakers. I think that deal breakers should definitely be communicated in the beginning. I'm a direct person.
Okay.
So I want to know up front what your deal breakers are, and I want to be able to let you know up front what my deal breakers are, so we can, say it is or it ain't.
Okay.
But then the thing for me is kind of adding what you just said. I could tell you that's a deal breaker. Like these things are like these are my absolutes. Like
right.
From just historical whatever. But then you might start doing something, and I didn't know that was a deal breaker. I don't know, maybe later, but I guess I could tell you the foundational things. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I agree with everything you guys said, but my number one top-notch deal breaker.
What's your deal breaker?
If she do not give head.
And I just went to sleep.
I done snorted.
Listen, I'm here to tell you,
so
like,
she don't give head.
that's a deal breaker. I mean, she got the. I mean, listen. I consider myself.
Hey, I get it. You like what you like.
I consider myself a cool, calm, collective guy.
Why is that
Head
a deal
givable
breaker?
kind of guy.
Why is it a deal breaker for me? Because
Absolutely.
that's something I like. So if you're not willing to do things that I like to do, step outside your comfort zone, then would you have my best interest at heart when it really counts? No. That's it. So I said, not giving me head is a deal breaker, but to underline it to all that is, you gotta be able to please me the way I want to be pleased, because I have no problem doing the things that you want to do.
Right.
What you got? You got anything else?
My absolute deal breaker is bad hygiene. And the reason I say that is because, like, I feel like I got some next level senses. Like, I hear everything, I see everything, and most of all, I smell everything. Like, I know everybody's body odor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have good hygiene, I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm a weirdo when it comes down to that.
Cause I smell everything. I'm the type of I smell everything.
Yeah, I smell a lot.
I mean, I literally pick stuff up and I'm sniffing you out.
I walk in the house sometimes and I know the trash should have got taken out.
But it didn't.
And it didn't.
Somebody throwing some daggers right
and
now.
then I'm like, so I walk in and I'm like, so now one of y'all in this MFing house smell that? So y'all just walked in here for the first time and like,
that's normal.
But guess
what
what?
does that smell?
But
There is no smell.
But guess what? She was in the house too the night before.
That it was not smelling, so something got put in the
she
trash.
was there too. You know, hey, man.
Negative. Something got put in the trash.
Right.
And I was already in the house when it may have already been there. So if two people come home before me, one person come home before me,
that trash need to be taken out.
Immediately come in. I get home and smell it. All hell break loose.
Right.
That's a deal breaker.
Right.
I just can't get rid of my kid. And I guess I love him enough that I ain't got rid of him, so we stuck like Chuck.
So let me tell you what my second deal breaker is.
Oh, wait, I'm here. This one. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
So my second deal breaker. So I like to experiment. I like to play around and do things erotic and different, right?
Well,
and
so box.
We like to break out of the box sometimes, right? And so, knowing that a male's G-spot is in his butt, sometimes I like to try it out. But this is my deal breaker. My deal breaker is this. You can't ask me to put my finger in your butt. You got to let me just do it.
Woo.
Like, so if you ask me to do it, that's the deal breaker. Because other psychological things.
Yeah, now I'm thinking, you like that. I want you to not. I don't want to know you like it before I do it.
Buddha.
Hey, listen.
Let me put a little pressure on that thing.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But don't ask me to do it.
First of all, I'm not going to invite you, nor...
You're not going to ask Buddha.
Now, if I'm ever in
Right
the
now,
with
he's
you...
sitting here with his butt.
Hey,
Get your butt together right now.
He could
Right
crack
now.
a walnut.
if I ever...
Butt cheeks
If
right
I'm
now.
ever in that position with this young lady, I'm coming with duct tape on the ass already. Like, these are one of those. Hey, listen. These are one of those moments that you have sex. You just put your dick through the little slide.
You don't take your pants off all the way.
You don't take your pants off all the way because you don't want to get caught
I
slipping.
know about the side of the pants.
I don't ever want to be caught slipping.
That's a deal breaker. Don't ask me to put my finger. Don't ask me to do that. That's a deal breaker. Nah, I want to do it.
So you saying if a guy was to ask you to...
You can't even picture him out
No.
there.
So if a guy was to ask you to do that, you would think he was suspect?
Suspect along with other things.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. So what if he is one of those guys who have
Tried it out and
had it
it.
happen to him before, and he
But
liked it?
have that conversation with me
Yeah, we need to know that.
before we don't let the first time I hear about that is when we in the moment and you asking me to stick my finger in your butt.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah,
just
that's
know
gonna be a little weird.
if that was to ever happen, if I hit you, it's just reactionary. If you end up getting a poop, 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 two-piece, it's reactionary because it don't go there.
You gonna razzle her little...
Knock a block off.
But Buddha, that's where you're gonna have an orgasm like never before. Just put a little pressure on it.
You know what? You're right. I can imagine that happening, and that's exactly what it's going to stay.
Right there,
It's
you're imagination.
imagination.
Man, you should let that imagination become reality.
Okay. I ain't drunk enough yet. Oh,
So
Lord.
you want to pee potty over the damn thing.
Oh, no.
So, baby, what's your what are your deal breakers?
Not having a job, preferably, I think I really, and in my now, I really would like for you to be in a career.
Right.
I know things happen. We are obviously like in a crisis and so forth, you know, but as a man, I feel that, you want me to respect you as said man and all the masculinity that comes with it, then I need to see your hustle.
Right.
I need to know you ain't just letting the circumstance consume you, you know. So I would say, you may not necessarily be financially set, but you should be in a upward bound move.
Right.
I'll be 44 next month.
Ooh.
So,
Excuse
me. For me, that's why, that's important. Like, I don't need no getting it together nigga.
Right.
Man, whatever you want to call him. I don't need him to be getting it together person. I need him to, be working on his togetherness, like maintaining and being consistent. So that would probably be a deal breaker for me, that you don't, in my now, that you don't have it, you ain't even near having it together.
Right.
You can be a work in progress, but you shouldn't be like scratch surface like when you was 20.
Right. Right. You grown.
But I do know that most men don't really grow up till they get in their 40s. The average man, there's no shade. Women be having, they be on it. Because that's just what women do. We usually have a lot more responsibilities and a lot more pressures and just expectations on us. But with men, for whatever reason, many of them get this pass
And they don't really start really seeing reality till they get like in their 40s, and then when they get 50, they're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? They have that real aha moment. But usually by the time they mid 40s, that's when they like, I done did all this hoeing and thoughting and shit, and you know, and I need to get together. I don't want him. Right. I don't need that guy. So that would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. A deal breaker for me would be a radical feminist. Somebody who say they don't need a man all the time. They're going to beat you over the head with it. Now, you know, I understand you need to be independent. I got that. We just talked about that a little earlier tonight.
Right.
I can get that. I can understand that. But when you just, if I really to the core feel like you don't need no man, why the fuck are we together?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That is a deal breaker.
Yeah, I got you.
I do want to be in a comfortable position where my man can lead. You know, like not so much as be aggressive about it, but put me in a submissive mode to, you know, with that way I have the confidence and the surety that you gonna handle this.
Right.
I know you gonna handle this. I know you gonna do whatever it takes. And so if you don't have that capacity, or you're not willing, not so much as you don't have the capacity, because all men got the capacity. It just depends on if you the one he want to do it with.
Right.
Okay?
So, I'm going to ask this. I'm going to throw this out there. So, if your man,
my man,
your man, let's say he was bisexual.
Oh, boy.
You say he was bisexual.
Okay.
Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
Why? Come on now, you.
Because being bisexual, for me, that sends a sign that you are, you don't know what you want. Right.
If he with you, he know what you want.
Then tomorrow he may want a man, and I can't help him.
I can't compete with that.
Or you can't compete with it either?
I can't compete with a man.
At all.
So,
today, tomorrow,
here
never.
comes that double standard.
But I can't.
No, but here comes that double standard I was talking about, right? So
What's
for
that?
a man, a lot of men, I ain't gonna say a lot of men dream of a woman who like girls.
Okay.
They dream of that, right?
Because you guys probably also dream of having a threesome with another woman.
Well, you know,
That goes hand in hand.
person But so we cool with that, right? And everything, everybody's supposed to be like, wham. But why, if the shoe fits or the shoe flip it around, you can't accept a man? Your man need to, if you are that type of woman, because not all women are bisexual.
Women like men that are not indecisive. And being bisexual shows every sign of being indecisive.
Is it?
Absolutely. Today
Why?
you want a man, and tomorrow you want a woman,
Well,
or this hour you want a man, or this hour you want a woman.
I hate to have to defend this right here.
Go ahead, let me hear.
Give it up for me.
I hate to have to defend it like this, but I gonna do it. That don't show indecisiveness.
How
Because he knows what he likes. He knows he want a woman, he like a woman, but he also like men. You can, just like you said, red, blue, or yellow. I can like all these colors. Y'all said this earlier,
that's fine.
but it's okay
He
for
just not the man for
time
me.
out. It's okay for a woman to have a lot of variety of choices out here in life, but you're saying to me now that it isn't okay for a man to have these same choices in
But
you
you're
guys'
talking
life.
about hearts and colors.
No, we're not. We're talking about right now. We're talking about of a woman. It's okay with a woman to like other women. We us as men.
But you guys choose to accept that.
Okay, so why can't y'all accept it?
Because it's a choice.
It's a
Damn,
choice.
the word was choose.
Right.
Choose.
I get it, but what I'm saying is, okay, I'm not gonna say that's indecisive.
Okay, so then we can flip the script then, Buddha, and say that you guys are okay with being with a woman who was bisexual, like both men and women, but you as a man, you wouldn't be okay with being a bisexual man, now would you?
Because I'm not a bisexual man. But see, that's me.
But
I
is that
know
okay?
you ain't never tried it, so
Is that
why
okay?
can't you do it if you ain't
First of
never
all,
tried it?
Yeah, and that's your choice, right?
So, I mean, hey,
So why
listen,
aren't you choosing to like men as well?
Why I ain't choosing? Because my my enter me says pussy only. That's it.
Okay, but you as a heterosexual
I don't
man,
have experience that.
but you as a heterosexual man, you are okay with women who are bisexual. Then that's the same thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only homosexual.
Is it not, baby?
Hold on. I'm looking at the camera when I say this. And fellas, y'all may shun me, but this is the truth. Alright? The only homosexual act I have had
was
me sticking my dick between my legs and looking in the mirror to see what it was like when I was a kid. That was it. That was
to
it.
see how fat that monkey was.
That was it. As a kid, you sat in the mirror, started
You want to see what his camera told.
When I was a kid, but I did that. And if a dude said they ain't tried that shit,
they lying.
they lied.
I want to see that.
Okay, I got one poll. How many men looked at they made a camel toe? That's the
How many men?
Is that making a count? Yeah, how many men made a camel
Someone
toe?
says that cheating
Have you ever
is
made a camel
a deal breaker.
Oh, I believe it. Cheating.
Infidelity, absolutely. You know what? What's a deal breaker for me? It may sound really simple, but
Because women are simple.
No, we're not.
I just had to throw that out there.
women have to break things down in the most simplistic way for men to catch what we're saying.
Okay.
So this may sound really simple, but going back off of what Baby was saying earlier about a man giving her the opportunity to be submissive and him leading, right?
Okay.
And so, like, my belief is that I believe wholeheartedly that God created women because he saw that Adam had a need when he was in the garden, right?
Oh.
That he couldn't exist alone. He couldn't reproduce by himself, right? And so he created Eve. And if a man does not, if I can't see myself being a helpmate or helping him, seeing myself help him in some capacity, I can't be with him. Because
so
I
you
feel like
can't help.
I'm not fulfilling purpose and destiny.
So if it's a man who represents, he got it all. If he has it all and he feel like he don't need nothing.
Yes.
Yes. Somebody say yes to what?
But I just said.
A male.
What up, G Money? Oh, my boys on here. G Money, Rich, what's good? Oh, I forgot to tell you, Rich LaFave earlier what's going on. And no, I'm not a Yankee fan. And
Okay. No, not you. I was saying.
but at the same time, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Secrets.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Like
So-
I just feel I have to see where I can be a help to you, and
You have to see that?
where I can serve you.
So that's interesting that you bring that up. So a lot of women, I'm paraphrasing, but help me out, baby, and Toya. Y'all want a man who has his shit together, but you don't want a man to have his shit together too much because you want to feel like you.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm asking you.
I'm not saying don't have your stuff together too much, but even in having everything together, I mean, because there's no perfect person.
Okay.
No one's perfect, which means that no one has a perfect life, a perfect situation.
Absolutely.
And so I need to be able to see where I can be who God created me to be.
Well, I fit in.
Right. Give me that opportunity, like Baby said, to be submissive.
Yeah.
Allow me to serve you. Allow me to
Don't use that word.
oh, I can't.
Don't say that.
Sorry.
I'm just teasing you, good. I'm just messing with it because she got triggered.
You know, the
words.
funny thing is,
Sorry.
like, I talked about this a few episodes. Y'all crazy. A few episodes ago, I mentioned about when I go into a relationship or start dating or whatever, you know, I have this number in my head, like a percentage. And because like you said, no one is 100%, I have a realistic percentage that I'm willing to accept from the guy.
Right.
So I'm going to just use an example. 75%. He needs to be at least 75% whole.
What?
And the reason why is because, you know, once again, nobody is 100%.
Right.
So if you're at least 75% whole, I'm bringing 75, maybe 80, you know. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to match your 75. Now we basically got 25% have our togetherness.
I like that.
We got something to build. That's me contributing in my 100%.
Right.
You got your 25, you know, and so now we're being made whole in this relationship together. So but you have to be able to bring that number, and the number is realistic. It's attainable, it's achievable, and it's measurable based on where you should be, approximately at my age, where I should be in my life.
Right.
And so that would be what I'm seeking to be matched with.
Right. And that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's
All
fair.
right, so somebody said a woman must have that man with his shit together, but they don't think they have to come ready.
I don't understand.
Well, exactly what I just said.
I didn't understand it.
It's exactly what I said.
What did you say?
Well, a man having his shit together, but they feel like, you know, he feels like the woman ain't gotta have their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to come. They're coming into the situation incomplete.
But see, that's the thing. Again, like Baby said, no one's 100.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one that walks the face of this earth that's walking around 100% together. We all fall short somewhere in some area of our lives.
Right.
So where you may be 100% financially together, you know, you may be 100% emotionally stable. You know, I may be 100% spiritually together.
Mm-hmm.
But
Can we put all three of them together? I'm just teasing.
Sounds like a match made.
Done. But
like we covered the 3 P's on
Right,
that.
right.
Protection, bam. Provide, bam. Well, pipe, I got 2 of them.
Well, the laying down it.
I got you.
But so yeah, no one. So what? Having a man having his stuff together may look different for me than it looks for Baby, or a woman having her stuff together could look different for you than it looks for the dude that posed this question.
So let's ask this question to y'all right now.
Okay.
What does a man who has his stuff together look like for you? What does it look like for you? And then I can answer from female.
Okay.
You with a twist.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know. That's kind of like a slighted. Like she could have just said me. She said with the twist. So it's so
No, but I perfect. But
I got it with the twist. So some extra shit come with it besides me.
You know, if I had a wish list, I wish upon a star. You know, you gotta shoot high so you aware of the stars.
So the people don't know me like you know me, right? So
right.
You gotta have a list of attributes, boo.
Right. So I mean, you are very loving, very, like if it comes down to the emotional side, you have that covered. Because I am an alpha female, and what that means to me, being an alpha female, I'm accustomed to being the resilient, strong-minded, go-getter, all in type of chick, but you put me in the position where I feel confident enough to fall back. That's a big pill to swallow for a traditional alpha female. Mm-hmm. And you are an alpha male. So, although we may bump heads, which is ironic, he is a Taurus and I'm an Aries. Those that follow zodiac signs understand one is
fire,
right, stubborn, and one is not, and earth and fire, So there are a lot of elements within that by all in itself that
I'm a Libra. I'm very balanced.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, what sign is that?
Forget the scales. No,
is
it
North Wind?
It is.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. So when I'm saying that you fit that bill of what I needed, especially in my now, my who I am now, the person that I was, the diamond was carved out and the rock and solid and all those things, made whole. In my now, on my journey, you fit exactly what I needed.
Okay. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Way to cover that up. That was great.
Covering it up.
For me, a man that has his stuff together, I would have to say, if he has kids.
Oh, he needs to have kids?
No, if he does have kids.
Okay.
you gotta take care of your kids.
Yes.
That is an
Yes.
absolute for me.
So what if the woman, baby mama,
The mother. Mm-hmm.
is kind of
child mother.
troublesome in that way, and him being able to take care of the kids the way you see fit?
Well,
I mean,
it can't be the way I see fit. It has to be what's in the best interest of that child.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know, if all he does is pay child support, and that's it, you know, because of children.
It would have to be his attitude about it. Like, is he
children-
really
oh,
putting forth
yes.
the effort? You know,
Yeah.
don't just
I'm
be.
just saying, I'm
Yeah,
trying
you know,
to applaud.
I think that would probably.
I'm trying to applaud in when you say, you know, take care of his.
If you're being
responsibilities, you know what I'm
hindered
saying?
because of obstacles
Right.
that are out of
your
your
emotional
control,
right?
then
Right.
you know.
Like you said, your attitude about it.
Yeah.
How you
Are you just like fuck
Genuinely
that
hurt?
then, you know?
How are you responding to the situation?
Are you
Yeah,
trying
just
to, what
really-
avenues are you working with to rectify the situation or just, you know, keep
It's
it
kind
moving?
of, for me, I feel it. I feel everything you're saying. But so, like, if you met me, like a year or two ago when I was in this fuck it stage. But, you know, I had been trying to get nowhere at the moment. Not talking about me, but I've seen guys who've been there. Nowhere. And then they get to a point where, damn, you know what? If they ain't going to put the same energy and match my hustle, emotional hustle in this thing to let me know that, you know, give me something. Then you kind of got to concentrate and focus on you.
You know, it's funny when he said hustle because that was a deal breaker for me. So much so. Communication. I communicated. If you can't match my hustle, and I wasn't speaking how much money I make, I'm talking about the drive, the tenacity, you know, that if you can't match it, we're not gonna make it. That was a big deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I get it.
And to this day, I'm like,
So,
all right,
tighten up.
So
we all need a reminder.
So let's say if you are a bisexual woman, right? Let's say you are. I'm not saying you are, but let's say you're a bisexual woman. If your man curtails that, is that a deal? Is that a deal breaker?
Well, it depends on how much that means to you in your relationship.
All right. So okay. What about you, babe?
What?
If a man curtails your cravings, like say you like women, and you want to be in a relationship with a man, but you want to, you know, be able to participate and jump in with some woman from time to time. If he doesn't allow that,
well, nobody don't allow me to do anything. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But
and
again,
you like it or don't like it, huh, baby?
right? Because I mean, if it's something that's what I strongly desire, then I'm gonna not be able to be in this relationship with said guy. If that's my thing, you know, I may not necessarily have to do it every day, every week, every month, or whatever. But if that's something that I desire, like me liking yellow, but I also like red, and periodically I want something red, you know, I'm gonna eventually communicate that. Sometimes you know, and it's very sticky of a situation when it gets down to your sexual preferences and such, having that conversation out the gate, you know. But a lot of times it's helpful. I strongly believe it is helpful because you can cut the chase. Like, you don't want to get involved with this relationship and grow into a relationship, and then you're like, hey, I like girls, you know, and I was just wondering. Most men won't say no.
Yes.
You know, most men don't usually say no, but then they'll be like, well, damn, when did this happen? You never said this. We've been together 9 months and you ain't said nothing about no girls. You don't even look at girls like that. You know, you don't give nothing. So it's like.
Right, I feel it. So back to this one, because I had to come back to this, and she just brought up something that just, my wheels in my mind started turning. So, you know what I'm saying? She said that's a definite deal breaker for bisexual men. But if you stick a banger, butt plug, any hang up his ass. That could be a questionable offense to homosexuality or bisexuality. So at that moment, one could consider that you could be that person who turned him to the other side. Mm-hmm. Now, what is
I ain't here to be changing nobody. First of all,
there's a difference in desiring those actions strictly from a man than from the intimacy of your woman. Yes.
Now, if you sprinkling it in y'all you heterosexual man, heterosexual female, and then y'all want to spice up your relationship because y'all been watching porn or y'all visited somewhere, y'all went to a little honeycomb hideout shenanigans.
I feel it. It may not work.
And then hey, he's confident in his sexuality and he's confident with you, the woman.
You could be introducing.
I can. If he's like she said, if he is
all of a sudden
in his sexuality,
tuning his booty now. Every time you see him,
he was right. He been alive.
There's a difference in him desiring it from his woman than desiring it from a man. If he has absolutely no desire for a man to stick his finger up his butt, or him bend another man over and stick something else up his butt, then one wouldn't say that he's gay or bisexual.
Well, hold on, right? Let's see.
But if you only
have issues with it.
Yeah.
No, listen, I don't have issues.
Buddha is oppressed mentally.
Buddha is not going to go with her at all.
So, baby, what about a man being sensitive to the needs of a woman? Emotionally, physically, psychologically, emotionally.
Sensitive or insensitive?
No. Like for me, it's a major deal, and I honestly didn't learn this about myself until I became an adult. Mm-hmm. That a man, because I've always been an alpha female. I've always been the one in control, doing very independent, doing my own thing, and so it's just like I didn't realize that I needed a man that was sensitive to my needs and
it helps.
Right. And so it came to a point where I was dating and in relationships, and it was just like, oh no, he doesn't know how to be like, yes, I'm an alpha female out here in these streets and I'm bossing, but when I come home, I need a hug. I need to be able to put my cape down and cry. And I need a man that's sensitive to my needs and to my emotions. And if I don't have that, you start to feel a void, right? And you start to fill that void with other things, whether it's being busy or just conversation with someone else.
Right.
And
that's listening.
Right. And so because you want to be true to yourself and being, to your relationship, it ended up being a deal breaker.
Yeah, it can be. Okay. And it's funny you say that because I would always be attracted. No, you're fine. I would always be I would be mated with a man that has high levels of sensitivity. Okay. And so my then would be like, you so damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was bothering me. Why is you so soft?
Right. I used to feel like that too.
It was now maybe it was just I wasn't accepting it for what it was. Like, why is you you know what I'm saying?
Was it just your idea of a man and how he should be?
It was just that's the man that he was a man, but he was soft around the edges when it came down to me, and I wasn't open to receive it, and so I eventually started. I lost an opportunity, I lost a relationship basically because of just a lot of variables, but that was one of the things. Like I wasn't receiving the love, the unconditional love that it was,
right?
And so now, as I started growing up, I'm like, okay, it ain't everybody, it's time to start really self-evaluating. Right. And one of the things I saw within myself was that I was
I was too hardened.
Yes.
I was losing my femininity, and that's one of the things I never want to lose touch with. You know what I'm saying? Child, please. And so I took time, went on a hiatus, you know, and so when I came back and I was ready, I wasn't looking, I was, you know, but I was really getting into a more spiritual mode. And so spiritually, I was being fed and, you know, what I needed, and I was seeing and I was understanding. And so along came Buddha. And, you know, and I have to tell him sometimes, I'll be like, get back now, I don't need that much attention. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right, I got it. But I have to give him so much credit because every day he tells me I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? He tells me something and it's like, okay. And I'm like, I know why. First of all, he tell me he want to be the first person to tell me, which he should. And I appreciate it. You know, he tells me he loves me like every day.
And not just more than that, but go ahead.
Right. You know, it's other things he do, but he's very consistent about
and
it.
I can see, I can witness, you know, outside the camera how he responds and how he caters to you.
He really does. And if it wasn't for him, that's his character. You know, that's who he is.
Yeah.
And I aligned with what I needed.
Right.
And I needed that soft side to, even though he's an alpha male, he still
he can
is
be
in
sensitive
tune
to your
it.
needs. Yes. Yeah.
So that it wasn't a deal breaker. It probably would have been the opposite if I would not have had my spiritual hiatus. You know, had my hiatus and got in tune with my spirituality. I should say.
Understood.
Is that a deal breaker for you too, baby? A guy who is not a believer or is not aligned spiritually?
I know that we all align at different times.
Yeah.
You know, we come into our unknown at different times. So it's not a deal breaker. But what would be a deal breaker essentially is if you are forcing me into what you believe. Like, don't force me, you know. I mean,
so have a little respect.
Yeah, let's, because you know he didn't understand my witchcraft as he called it. But eventually he started hearing and seeing, and then he started seeing people that I was aligned with, and they was from a male perspective.
Right.
Was educated. He was he wanted to understand.
Right. Oh, that's
to want to understand, helped him understand why I was doing my why, and then he realized it would actually pretty much the same thing as Christianity. It's just being, you know, the belief is just not. I'm not using the word God, or I say Most High, or you know, higher power. Morals and values are the principles are still aligned. Right. You know, what about you? No matter what.
No, it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker for me because of the type of person I am. I respect everybody for who they are. Yeah. And so when it comes to religion and spiritual beliefs and all that, I'm gonna allow you, from my sense, I'm saying allow. From my standpoint, I'm gonna allow you to be who you are and be great. So, you know, one thing I learned by reading the Bible, if you think you know it all, you've already lost. So you're already lost. So you got to continue to learn, and there's something to learn from everybody in every walk of life. So you got to embrace who they are and understand them. And once you understand them, if it ain't your cup of tea, then you move on.
Yeah, understood.
I get it.
All right, so some of the people, they were saying about cheating being a deal breaker.
That's definitely. Paul, can we pause right there? Why is it that when a man cheats, why is it that when a man cheats, his expectation is for his woman, if he's in a relationship with another woman, to forgive him and stay. But if the woman cheats, he out of there, gone.
Yeah, that's a man thing.
Yeah,
like I don't know, men, because the territorial thing, it's like that's my woman.
But you don't think that's like they say for us, it's double standards?
It definitely is double standards.
I mean,
they can't take that. They can't take that.
Well, you know, I've always said this before about the shitty lock versus
the lock and the key.
The lock and the key. You know what I'm saying? If you have a key that opens up every door, then you got a goddamn good key. And you're going to use it every chance you get, correct? But if you have a shitty lock, if you can't lock and secure your home, then
So why can't I be wanting to secure my lock? Why can't it be
because you don't have a key, baby.
Oh,
you know, kids.
We only got locks.
That's it.
I know this.
But no, on a serious tip,
you guys can handle that game.
some guys can't.
Most.
Some guys.
Because I haven't met one that can.
Some guys.
Well, actually, I do know one. I know one.
Some guys can, they'll cheat on their woman, ask for them to forgive him. And then if their woman cheat on them, they can understand. They got the bigger wherewithal to understand what happened. And it's like, well, shit, I did this to her, and then she did this back to me.
And 2 months later, they break up because he really can't handle it.
Right.
Stop playing.
Right.
Let's
be real.
All I'm gonna say is, like, listen, talking for me, I've been in these situations where I cheated on a woman before.
He cheated on me.
Shut up. We ain't talk about that. So, well, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I did cheat on you.
You cheated on me. It's okay. We ain't got to talk about it.
No, they ain't got no understanding.
I mean, I don't know, because as you said, we're so simple.
Hey,
we like to say we're simple.
Y'all
So
are very simple creatures.
in one track, bim.
Yeah.
And that's all we're gonna see, and it's like a replaying, and loving oneself is greater in men.
So my Leisha, make sure you gotta say it how it's pronounced.
My Leisha.
I am not indecisive because I like women and men.
Bingo, like I said.
When you know what you know, I mean, you know what you like it.
That's not indecisive, like I was saying earlier.
I mean, if you know this and you're not, and that's how you present yourself, then that's totally acceptable. So heterosexual men are very indecisive, especially if they out there cheating on their main woman.
I don't think they indecisive. I just think they greedy and selfish and don't care.
Well,
But you like women.
I wouldn't
There's
say
no question about
I
that.
wouldn't say they're greedy per se, but what you did say, they love themselves more than they love somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That part is true.
Selfish.
So hey man, I'm gonna always take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless. So for a woman who likes to use tools like sex as a weapon,
Right.
they don't work with them type of guys.
Absolutely. If he's made the commitment to you, whether no or not, then he's committed to you. How is that different from him liking thick or thin and choosing one? Do you think he'll leave for her for the other?
All I'm gonna say is, all you can be is you.
Right.
Regardless of how, all you can be is you, and he loves you for you, or he likes you, and he likes you for you, then that's all you got to go on. Just because he likes you, and then he might like another person, doesn't mean he don't like you. You know what I'm saying?
So a deal breaker for somebody, they said, no wannabe rappers or producers, must have benefits. You don't need a potential project.
Right.
We're grown.
Hey,
Absolutely.
potential gets you in the dope.
It'll get you close, but not there.
No,
It don't take you too far. A deal breaker is a girl trying to put her finger in my ass.
Who said that? Absolutely. Wait for the camera.
Toy's gonna ask.
Look, we gonna have in a few seconds. We're gonna get with Latoya, and she's gonna tell you a little bit more about what she does. So I just wanted to go back through some of the comments. The prostate is everything.
Ooh, Jesus. I know. I mean, that's what you go to the doctor to get a check for.
Warm you up a little bit before you get that booty.
Deal breaker.
I don't. Hey, it ain't good for a man to have a loose booty now. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
All right. Deal breaker. Closed-minded.
Okay.
No aspirations.
That's good.
And a homebody.
I'm a homebody for the most part, but I will go out and do
Right. I mean, but all you do is just stay home. You ain't gotta necessarily be working, but just
people are homebodies like that. It's because it's something deeper than that. There's some kind of insecurity somewhere.
Right.
That has to be dealt with.
Yes. So listen, I know we're about to be closing the show, but listen, be sure to share. Yeah, it's cool though. Okay. Be sure to share with your friends and family, because somebody want to hear this. And you know what I'm saying? We are live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. 5 minutes. Live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. My engineer want to cut the show off because she knows what to do. But she wasn't here when it was time to start the show. But she ready. She's doing a good job. Thank you very much, engineer. So with that being said, like, follow, share, turn on your notifications. We're on all the platforms. If you're ever looking for what platform we on all of them. Just go and Google it, or you can go to the top somewhere up in the About section area, and there is a link that'll take you to all of the platforms, whether it's the visual platforms or it's the audio only platforms. So we're on all of them: Spotify, Google, iTunes, Stitcher, Breaker. Anchor is our main, Anchor.fm is our main platform for audio, and then it distributes it for us to the other, I think 8 or 9 audio platforms. We're on YouTube, so you're able to like find us like all over the freaking place. When we have events, make sure you check the event tab. I know we didn't talk about the coronavirus or anything because there's enough of that going on. We just tried to bring something a little bit more off topic.
Hell no. Coronavirus had motherfucking Waffle House closed.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It's real in the field out here, man.
Very traumatic experience for me.
Coronavirus got me working from home.
Right. Coronavirus still got me working in the office because we ain't got 10 people in there.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, that part.
So what
we got? What did you learn tonight?
What I've learned is if you deal with Toya and her toy box, make sure you clean all the way up in that colon, man. Don't start at the rim. Go all the way in and clean it because you never know when she gonna put that thumb in the booty, dog.
Listen, everybody gonna be going on my social media looking to see who all my exes are. They gonna be like, oh, that nigga got
he got a loose booty. There's loose booties in the building.
Like, who told you baby daddy?
Loose booty.
You clean it all the way up, buddy.
Sounds like a loose booty over there. No, okay. So, Latoya, what did you learn tonight?
Let's see. I learned, honestly, something about you two individually, about your preferences, what you like, what you don't like, your deal breakers, and where men in general stand with the whole, what you talked about, traditional, untraditional, and it really confirmed how simple-minded you guys really are.
It ain't that we're simple-minded. It's just that we don't want to get confused. Period. You know,
you
if
serious
we want.
About this thing,
No, I really am, because you know what? When you come in the room, this is an example. When I come in the room, I know what the temperature of the air conditioner needs to be on for my baby to be great, right? But I don't want to be the person to keep flipping, turning it up, turning it down, turning it up, turning it down because she hot or she cold, she hot or she cold, I'm hot or she cold. You know, I need to know these things, period. But
what happens when her physiology and her biology of her body makes her hot and cold? That she can't control that.
See,
but
but here's the thing: if it's
you gotta be flexible.
If it's a occurrence, that's understandable. But if it's throughout this whole relationship, and I gotta be stuck on eggshells and not really understanding because you're gonna be one way this way, you're bipolar. So I'm not you bipolar, but if you bipolar,
if you have a condition
Like women when they go
Well,
through
emotional
menopause.
bipolar is, you know what I mean?
But
Whatever
even
it
if
is.
you are bipolar, that you just
You gotta work on. You gotta figure out how you gotta know
take
how to
me
deal
to
with that
the,
person.
you know, if you really
So
love
I just
me,
want to
then I
really
need
truly
get
know
some
how to
treatment.
deal with
Right.
the woman that I'm with.
But if I am
Just keep being
clinically
sensitive
diagnosed,
to her
then I would already be on medication
Right.
when you meet me, and I just need to let you know I'm on medication. That would be the right thing to do.
Right.
So somebody said alphas have certain characters and emotions and are not top on that list. And alphas have certain characters and emotions are not top on that list.
I don't agree. But okay, that's your experience.
Understand.
What they're saying is some of the characteristics of an alpha, emotions is not on the top. I would say that
Everybody have emotions.
I mean, we have emotions,
Their
but
emotions
being
may be
emotional ain't on the top of my alpha.
Right. That doesn't mean that we
is
make
not.
decisions based on our emotions.
No, it's just, I'm using
logic and reasoning.
Yeah, like I don't have time to be.
Take the feelings.
Like I put my feelings aside a lot, and I have to being in a relationship with Buddha. I had to learn to bring my feelings back to the forefront. So like, and use my words. Like,
but you know, when I was going through school, learning to be a therapist, you have to ask, well, how does that make you feel?
Right. And part of my spiritual journey, my hiatus, that was one of the things. Like I would just harbor those emotions and then blow up, flip tables and all, like you, and be all kind of not so nice a nice person. And I'm like, I could have just communicated because they didn't know that I had an issue with it when it was an issue, and now it's a full blown issue, and now I'm mad and they looking stupid like, I didn't know you never said nothing. You're right. So now I'm checking it at the door. I don't like that. That really makes me feel. That don't make me feel good. That ain't putting me in. That ain't my happy place. I use my words.
All right.
So that's good. All right. So before we close the show, I want the people to be able to find you, Latoya. So tell them a little bit about your services.
Okay, so Toys Toy Box. And the toys is for my name, Toya, just shortened Toys. And the toy box is you could be the box of a male or female. What we're talking about, the male or female anatomy when we reference that. But Toys Toy Box is just a platform where we can provide our viewers and our clients sexual intelligence, right? And we do that by couples counseling. We do that by hosting parties, whether it be for birthday parties, bachelorette parties, just to get together or shower party.
Are you putting your hands together?
And the parties aren't. So what's so different about Toys Toy Box? It sounds like we're selling toys, but we do not sell toys. Although we use toys at some of our parties, we do not sell them. What we do is we sell sex education and sexual intelligence, and we couple it with fun. It's a lot of fun, and you learn about whatever the topic is at hand that the host decides to pick. We do guest speaking events. We speak at universities, schools. We talk about the development of the body, how kids develop sexually, become teenagers, adults. We talk about a whole spread of things. We deal with grief, sexual grief. So we deal with a array of things. You can find us on all the social media platforms as well, Toys Toy Box. We also are on YouTube. And if you would like to book a Toys Toy Box party or a counseling session or speaking engagement, you can find us on Booksy. You can also book through Facebook as well. And those links are also on all of our social media platforms. And thank you, Buddha Baby, for this opportunity. Thanks for letting me sit with y'all today.
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it.
Me too. You ready, baby?
That's not what I wanted. I wanted a song, and I was trying to tell you the song.
What song you want?
I don't remember. I think it's Mtume. Is that the right word? Is that how you say it?
Mtume? Oh, me, she, and he?
I don't think that's the name of it.
What song you want, baby? Juicy Fruit?
Yeah.
Matume? Matume? Keep talking while I'm buying.
I'm like,
give baby what she want, Buddha.
I was trying, I couldn't get. I didn't want to be rude while she was talking. Y'all, so he's so crazy. Anyway, so we about to go. We ain't gonna have music. I'm okay with that. It's just give me what you got. Give me what you got, what you don't have. So. Next week, same time, same energy.
I'm on it now. And it take me long. Bim.
Sippas all around the world. Like, share, follow. And